Dear Member of Parliament, by now there is no reasonable doubt that our nation is suffering climate disasters. Likewise, there is no doubt that these will worsen in the coming decades, even with the most urgent and decisive action to abandon greenhouse emissions.
Without these actions, the climate is liable to destabilise into a hothouse scenario, a process that will be unrecoverable at any price. In this context, Fireproof Australia's concern lies first and foremost with the victims of climate disaster.
The failure to both prevent and prepare for a catastrophically degraded climate constitutes the most fundamental betrayal of the national interest that we can recall or imagine. We must act urgently on 3 points.
The protection of our citizens, the decarbonisation of our economy, and the pursuit of all possible diplomatic and economic means to drive the attainment of global net zero.
The nation cannot do that from a position of hypocrisy. The obviousness of this points to a profound institutional failure. In this knowledge, Fireproof Australia has 3 primary demands.
Firstly, that any Australian unhoused by a climate disaster is rehomed at the expense of the federal government. Secondly, that the federal government establish a sovereign aerial firefighting fleet, as proposed by the Emergency Leaders for Climate Action. Thirdly, that the federal government fund all schools, aged care and disability care facilities to be fitted with air purifiers sufficient to protect the occupants against bushfire smoke.
We recognise the many other diligent and responsible workers across the political spectrum striving for a safe climate. We acknowledge their criticism of our tactics.
Our allegiance, however, remains with those affected. We urge members to meet with us and begin drafting legislation to the effect of our demands. Together we shall overcome.
Together we shall overcome. Fireproof Australia.